Look at that. We did it. It made it through the entire production.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to PDQ Live, everybody. It's a awesome episode because we're talking about the roadmap of our products. And the best part about that is, I just get to hand it off to smarter people and then sit here and look pretty.
Right.
All right, so we've got Mark's going to be running things here. He knows all things.
Oh, wow. I don't know. That might be overselling just a little bit. Cool. Thanks, Jordan. So what we're going to do today is I've brought with me a whole bunch of different people from the product team, and we're going to, as quickly as we can, we're going to share with you what we're working on. And so kind of the way we want to do this is we're going to kind of step through each product one at a time. And so we'll have the product manager walk us through what it is we've done recently, what's currently being worked on, and what's up and coming. And we'll kind of do a, for each of the products, we'll kind of do a demo and kind of walk you through either something that's recently released or something that's coming really soon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start. I get to start us out here and talk about product-wide initiatives. And so these are going to be the things that are impacting all of our products. Just a quick reminder, our goal with our products is pretty straightforward. We want to make device management super easy. We want to make sure it's being done securely, and we want to have the product that is the fastest at helping you do that. And so we don't want, we don't want to be slow. We don't want to be complex. The least amount of time you spend in our products, like the better for us, right? Because it means you're getting a lot of value out of it. So that's what we're really trying to do. If you think about our products today as kind of our portfolio here, you've got Deploy Inventory that many of you know very well, SimpleMDM, and then SmartDeploy. And so we're going to step through each of these products and kind of show you what we're doing there. So product-wide initiatives, what are we up to? There's a couple things that, and I say a couple, there's actually a lot. There's a lot of things that we're working on here to kind of unify our products together and make them easier if you're going to use multiple products, kind of log in and move between them. So things like unified account management, right? If you're using SmartDeploy and SimpleMDM and Deploy Inventory right now, it's a little hard to manage your account. You have different portals to do that in, and it's frankly not a great experience, not what we want it to be. You also have different usernames and passwords or authentication. We want to change that as well. One of the other things that we're doing that I'm actually really excited about, and you'll see a little bit of this today, is a common interface. So we want to make the products all feel the same. They're going to remain as distinct products for now, but we want you to be able to switch from one product to the other and really seamlessly be able to use them and understand how to navigate and things like that. So you're going to see some of that here in just a second. So those are some of the big items that we have in progress across our portfolio. I wanted to drill into two of them, and we'll start with the common interface system. And again, like I said, we want to make it so the products feel really similar. You're navigating the same way. And so I'm going to show you just a screenshot of what we're doing with SimpleMDM and with SmartDeploy. And this kind of carries over also to Connect and to eventually to Deploy an Inventory. So this is an updated screen of SimpleMDM. We've completely reimagined the navigation, the tables. It's a little bit more spacious, a little bit better layout. And you're going to see here an updated screen for SmartDeploy, very, very similar.
Love it.
Yeah, and the thing is, we want it to be common, right? We want it to feel similar. We want you to be able to get into the app, and you always know where the sign out button is.
Yeah,
it's always in the bottom left-hand corner. And so you're going to see us investing more and more into getting all the products to kind of feel the same. And at some point down the road, what we'll also do is we'll add in things like an easy application switcher. So if you wanted to move from one product to the other, you don't have to remember the URLs or log out and log back in. We're going to make it a lot easier to manage and get through your accounts.
I love it. That's awesome so far. Really.
Yeah, it's going to be a great addition and change to our products. All right, now there's been some spoilers on this one. If you go to our website right now, you'll see some of the spoilers there. We're refreshing the product identity for deploying inventory. Everyone is used to the letter in the box there. We've grown to love those. As we're implementing new products, we're expanding our product portfolio, and we've decided it's time to kind of refresh that. So the icons that we've chosen there to represent what the products do. So I'll go ahead and show you really quick here. We have deploy. So that's kind of deploying from one place to another. You have inventory, which kind of think of it as like a target or focusing on a device or a group of devices. And then we have connect, which is the new product, right? Which we're going to show you today live. And connect is all around connecting devices no matter where they are. And so you're going to see these they're already on our website, and you're going to see them all over the place starting today. So excited about the refreshed identity there. Okay, so those are some of the product-wide initiatives that we have going on. What I'm going to do now is we're going to turn the time over to Randall Pace, who is the product manager for deploying inventory. Before I do that, just a quick call out. If you do have feedback or you want to talk to someone on the product team, we would love to talk to you. So I put the product manager's email addresses here on each of these screens as we kind of transition to the product manager. Write that down, or you can reach out to us. We love to spend time with you and talk about the products and where you see gaps or weaknesses. So with that, I'm going to stop talking, and we'll turn it over to Randall.
Yeah, and if we could switch back to the slide deck real quick. Not ready to share just yet. I'll do that. I'll do that at the end. So just to kind of go over our roadmap for deploying inventory, as Mark just dove into the refresh product branding, we have new logos. So if you notice, we put out a release yesterday. It has the new logos in them. Super excited. If you find weird places where the old logo still exists, let us know. One fun thing, if you do want to keep the old logo around, if you have the pin shortcut, it might not update. So if you want a little bit of nostalgia to hang around on your desktop, just leave that pin shortcut alone. It's a little hack for you. Also, in that release that we put out yesterday, there was a SQLite vulnerability, CVE, that came out a week or two ago. We put out the patch to fix that. We updated SQLite to the latest version that mitigates that risk. And we also fixed a bug related to SQLite. It's been around for a little bit. In some environments, customers were seeing the executable just cloning itself, duplicating itself hundreds, if not thousands of times, and taking up disk space. We fixed that, so hopefully no one will run into that anymore. We also have been working on updating dependencies and libraries that we use with deploying inventory, so that going forward we can kind of keep everything up to date, keep a good security posture. Let's see. In development, user management is another thing that Mark kind of drilled into a bit. It's something that our team has been working on, creating in the sales portal a place where you can go and add your team members. We want to get rid of product keys, essentially, with deploying inventory, and kind of line it up as to how the other products work, where you just have a login. So this is kind of that step towards that effort to make that sales portal where you can add your team members, assign licenses out to those users, and then log into deploying inventory using those accounts. The other cool thing that enables us to do is pull in other products in the near future. So if you want to use Connect, you can start up a trial of Connect. If you want to use SimpleMDM or SmartDeploy, you can do so with those as well. That's kind of the end goal that we're looking for. And I'll actually demo that in just a little bit. After we get this user management stuff rolled out, we're going to then be working on more bug fixes. We have queue deployments, which is a huge one for our customers. We get reports on this stuff all the time. Deploy just randomly queuing up deployments, and you got to either restart or mitigate it in some other way. So this is one is like highest priority for us to get fixed. Also, a really common one is either getting no return error code on deployments or getting a null error code returned. So we're looking into those and a few other like very high priority bugs. We have a list. We have a very long list of bugs that have been building up over the years. So we're trying to go through and rank them in highest priority and get those resolved to keep everybody happy. And then next on our list here is app login. So along with the user management portion, as you would expect would come next, is logging into deploying inventory. Again, we're trying to get rid of product keys where we can. So you'll be able to log into deploying inventory using your own account, which will be really cool. And then after that, roles and permissions. I think I just saw it in the chat. Someone was talking about roles and permissions. It is on the way. We're excited about delivering this. It's been something that's been kind of we've been looking at for a long time. So we're looking at actually implementing that and deploying inventory. And we're
Yeah, I think one
really
of the
excited.
important things on roles and permissions is before you can have roles, you have to have users, which we don't have today, right? It's all product key driven. That's one of the big reasons why we're doing user management right now. Is to really lay that foundation for introducing the concept of roles and permissions in the product.
Yeah, and that's the thing that these users, user management roles and everything it's going to give us is the ability to add more features, which is really cool. And then
Cool.
secure LDAP support. That's been something that's been on our list for a while as well. Like we want to enable the highest security posture we can in customer environments. So we definitely want to be able to support secure LDAP.
So I'm sure everyone is loving looking at slides, but I'm sure everyone wants to see the actual product here. So let's switch over to Randall's screen and let's show a quick demo of how user management will kind of work.
Yeah. So let's pop open a new tab here. I think I'm already logged in. Let's see. Hopefully it won't fail on me since we're doing a live demo. So if you've logged into the sales site before, you kind of probably recognize the screen. We're just going to be breaking these apart a little bit, and we're going to be adding a members page that will then have your users, and you'll be able to assign licenses or manage your deployed inventory seats. So in the future, you'll be able to edit users and not only change a role, but also assign deploy and inventory seats. And then, like I said, you'll be able, the long-term goal being you'll be able to start up a Connect demo or a subscription to Connect or SimpleMDM, SmartDeploy. It's very, very rudimentary demo here, but this is kind of what we're looking at right now. And we're excited to kind of start rolling this out to our customers.
Yeah, we'll have some information that we send out around how we're going to roll this out, right? We're going to be very mindful around rolling this out in a way that gives you time to kind of prepare and kind of create your users and things like that. So we'll have more information around how it comes out in the coming weeks.
Yeah, exactly. We want to give people time to get their team members added to their organizations. That way, when we do roll out deploy and inventory login screens, that you already have the stuff set up and you won't be interrupted and you can get your work done.
Yeah, I think it's some great updates to deploy and inventory around security, also some of the top requested features. So really excited about the work we're doing there, Randall. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm going to be hanging out in chat, and I'll also be putting in a Calendly link because I do want to be talking to customers. So if you guys want to chat with me, I'll have a Calendly link. So
hey, Randall,
looking forward to it.
What's the Owen Wilson API?
I'll send you a link.
Cool. Thanks, Randall. All right. So we're going to switch gears now. We're going to give you an update really quick on PDQ Connect. So what we're going to do, very similar, we're just going to do a quick introduction here. So you're going to be talking to Owen Kraft, who is the product manager over PDQ Connect. He's been working pretty hard on PDQ Connect. There's a lot of progress we've made. Now, I'm not going to give you spoilers, but I'm really excited about the demo today.
Right. Yeah, and I'll try and move through this pretty quickly so that we can get to the demo. But when you look at the recent releases column, this essentially shows everything that you can do in Connect today. And so where we started with Connect, like the day one availability was, you could deploy packages from our package library. This is the same library used by Deploy. So if you want to deploy Chrome, Firefox, Zoom, those sorts of packages, those are available in Connect now. And we also added in some basic inventory information so that when the agent is installed, you can start seeing information about that device. Since then, we've actually added the ability to create custom packages. So these are multi-step packages. Right now, we only support install and PowerShell steps, but we are planning on adding more step types. And we are wrapping up the saved filters. So if you think of dynamic collections and inventory today, that is what saved filters are. It's feature complete. We're just finishing a few bugs. Outside of that, we're working on improving the inventory information that's available. So we know system administrators need a lot of information about their environment and their devices. Often you can't solve any problem until you have the right information. So we're focusing on that right now. Once we have more inventory information, we're going to start the beta. We don't have a specific date at this moment, but I want to stress the soon part of it. It's coming very fast, very soon. We're almost there. And Couple of clarifications about the beta. It will be invite only, so we're not going to open it up for everyone. You can just sign in and get access immediately. We will be sending out invites, and it's obviously not going to be the full functionality that we'll have once Connect is fully available. But the beta will be starting soon, and we hope to get testers in pretty quickly. Once the beta started, we're going to actually work on automating deployments. We know that you don't want to manually deploy Chrome or Zoom every single week, so we're going to add in that automation similar to schedules in Deploy. But from here, I'm actually going to jump into the demo.
Great. And so we're going to very tactfully pass over the the keyboard here and the mouse.
Right,
and Owen's going to walk us through it here.
All right. So hopefully everyone is now seeing a dark screen. So I guess the first thing to call out is we are doing dark theme by default for PDQ Connect. But what you're looking at right now is a list of your devices. And so these are devices that already have an agent installed on them. If you wanted to put your agent on additional devices, you would just go down here, click the download agent installer button. We have a single installer for your org, so there's not going to be multiple installers that you need to manage. There's just one. Once the agent is on a device, it will auto update to any new releases that we push out. So from here, you can kind of like search your devices. You can filter your devices. So for example, if I wanted to find devices that have Chrome installed, I just go up to my filters button, go to software. And so first, I'll just do a basic name search. So it looks like all of these have Chrome. If I want to specify a version, our current syntax is just to add an @ symbol after the software name. And then I can actually start typing in a specific version number. So here we can see out of all the devices in this organization, we have one with the 102 version of Chrome. In the future, you will see a save button over here on the right. What that will allow you to do is save this filter, and this filter will be dynamic. So at that point, you can then monitor your environment for any new devices that get, here it's Chrome 102, but if it's Chrome latest, whatever it is, that's how our dynamic collections will work. So now I'm going to walk through the process of creating a custom package. So I'm going to go to our packages tab. So from here, you can actually see our entire package library, where the goal is that essentially every package you have in Deploy, you can also access in in Connect, but we're going to create a custom one here. So I'm just going to go to create package. We'll name this the webcast package version if you want to specify that. And then we'll start adding some steps. So today we're going to install 7-zip. So I'm just going to use a basic install step. We'll name that. We already pulled the download file, but if we wanted to, we could just go there. So I'm going to attach the file. If I needed an additional file, I could attach one. I'm not for this, but you can attach as many files as you want. You can also specify a parameter. Your success codes will offer the ability to deploy with multiple run as modes. Right now, it's just local system, but we'll have more in the future. And then we have error modes as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this package. And then this is our packages tab again. So I'm just going to search for that. So you can see here is the custom package we just created. Now I'm going to go back to our devices tab. This is all of our devices. I see some of these are online right now. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just push this one. So here I'm going to click deploy. We're going to search for that packet or that package. We see webcast. This is the one I just created. And we'll go ahead and deploy it. So you can see it just moved to a queued status. That means this deployment's now been queued and we're just waiting for the next check-in. So I'm going to go ahead and click into the device. So here you'll see a layout that should hopefully feel very similar to inventory, just a little refreshed. So in this side panel, you see we have 3 tabs. One is your device tab, which shows you just some high-level information about the devices. The second is a software tab, which shows you all of the installed applications on your device. And the third is the deployments tab. So while we were talking, this actually completed. If I wanted to click in, I could get the output log. Maybe this will be the one thing that doesn't work on the live demo, but it's normally available and it'll have all the information here. We didn't get an error, so it's not super super important. But you can see how quickly we actually installed 7-zip live.
I think that's one of the big things that we've wanted to make sure we maintain with PDQ Connect is that it's not slower just because it's web-based.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about, I don't know how long it took me to get through that, but what, 30 seconds maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, pretty fast. And then you see there's a lot of empty space over here in this left nav. So when we were talking about improving the inventory information, if you know the computer window in inventory and how it has all those tabs, our goal is to fill this up the same way so you have that really rich and deep inventory information. All right, so that's, I think, it for the demo.
Great.
I'm not sure exactly what order we want to go, but we've gotten a bunch of questions for this. Do you want to cover questions, then go to others?
We're actually going to take questions at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep your questions coming. Preface them in the chat with the word question. That helps us find everything.
All right, we're gonna keep moving along. Thanks, Owen. All right, so next we're gonna do is we're gonna have Eric Nymark, who is the director of engineering at SmartDeploy, walk us through what the SmartDeploy team has been up to.
All right, thanks, Mark, and excited to be here and kind of share what's going on with SmartDeploy. Figured it might be nice to give a little background. Maybe not all of you know what SmartDeploy is, but it started out as a Windows imaging toolkit and has slowly grown over time to include some additional systems management functionality, which we added patch management in our most recent release, and are continuing to work on that. You'll see kind of a theme here of iterating on that functionality over time, and including some customer feedback and some roadmap items that we currently had. In addition, in development, like Mark said, we're working on unified platforms, so making things look more like the PDQ ecosystem and tying into that user identity and management piece. In addition, SmartDeploy's web app is growing as well, eventually to look like Mark's screenshot, but also adding in some functionality from our on-premise product to the web-based product as well. So all those things are going on, and we're going to continue working on those as we go through the next iteration of roadmap items. I think I'll go ahead and jump over to the demo here and show what's going on with patch management. So this is the SmartDeploy console. It's installed on-prem on a local device, but also connects to clients over the cloud. And this patch management functionality, like I mentioned, recently added, kind of gives you a quick red light, green light on what machines in your ecosystem are currently patched, which ones are pending Windows updates, Microsoft updates, and the status of the service on those. So if we look at the filters here, we can see machines that are pending Windows updates, ones where the service might be disabled or paused, and ones that are completely up to date. You can see this Windows updates is aggregated based on a number of different criteria, but as you go through, if you look, you can see security, critical, different patch levels that are required for a machine. Feature packs are in here, Windows upgrades, for instance, like a 20 H1 to 2022 H2 release. Those would be optional. So if you go to install updates on this on any machine, it'll ask if you want to install that major upgrade, just because those can be disruptive, as it's essentially a reinstall of the Windows operating system. But from here, if you want to patch a single machine or a group of machines, you can just right-click, install updates, select how you want that to go out over the local network or cloud network, and then finish, and it'll queue those up. I don't have these machines online right now, but that would kick off the Windows update process, and eventually these would change from a status of pending to installed, or possibly reboot necessary, and you could manually reboot from here as well. That's about it for me today. Thanks for the time.
Great. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, really excited about the work we're doing there. There's a lot in progress. I know one of the questions that was asked in chat is, hey, like, how are the products converging, or are we putting any products on the ice? I think the thing to walk away with is to know that none of our products are going on the ice. None of them are in maintenance mode. We're building on all of them. we also realize that you don't need all of them necessarily. You know, some of you do, some of you don't. And so there are distinct teams building each of the products. And hopefully you're kind of getting that sense as we're kind of walking through here. The last presentation we're going to have today is going to be with Eric McCann, who is our product manager over SimpleMDM. Really excited to hear about what we've been doing on the Apple ecosystem.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Mark. So some recent releases on the SimpleMDM side. So I realize that this webcast demographic tends to lean more towards the Windows side. So I'll try to kind of provide some context around what these features are. So one exciting one that was recent was the customizing package info ability. So basically, SimpleMDM integrates with a service called Monkey. Monkey is an open source tool, widely considered the best-in-class option for managing software installations on macOS. And the package info is essentially what gets generated to control the metadata and install behavior for packages that you're installing on macOS through Monkey. So as part of our integration, we added the ability to basically edit that package info to be anything you want. So there's about 100 different keys that you can set just to control that behavior. Next up, so we added the ability to manage admin passwords. So that was a pretty heavy demand that we received. So basically people were enrolling their machines, but didn't have a way to reset an admin password, or if they needed to track down what it was, they didn't have a way to store it. So now you can have the ability to set a unique admin password on every device that enrolls in your account. You can store that admin password in MDM, and you can also rotate that password if you need to. Two other exciting additions. We have a lot of customers that heavily lean on our API for advanced automation customization. So we added the ability to run scripts through our API, as well as to manage profiles through the API. So both pretty big features for those systems engineers that are getting kind of their hands dirty on programming their own functionalities. So in development, we're adding the ability to automate scripts without using the API. So that'll make it a little bit easier for maybe people who don't have time to do that programmatically. As Mark mentioned, we'll be working on some design updates. You've already seen a preview of those. So that's pretty exciting. It's been a while since we've updated the UI, and it's heavily needed. We're also working on the declarative management protocol. So this is a new update from Apple. They're basically overhauling the underlying mechanism that all Apple MDMs operate on. And so we are actually working on adopting the new protocol. And we also have a SSO extensions profile coming out soon that will basically provide you with the ability to allow users to have SSO into various apps and websites that are managed through your MDM service. Up next, so we're going to be continuing work on the design front. We're going to be looking into identity and compliance integrations. This is intentionally vague. There's a lot of work to be done here, but we're going to be evaluating what tools we could integrate with that will help our users and provide the best end user experience. And we'll be looking into automating device actions. So similar to what we're working on now with scripts, we'll be doing that with device actions as well. So you'll be able to, for example, schedule a device to restart at a specific time rather than you having to be signed into the admin interface in order to trigger that restart. All right, so next up, I will do a demo. So for this particular demo, I decided to not focus on a new feature that's coming out, but rather just because I think some of the viewers here maybe aren't as familiar with their product, I wanted to show you basically some of the tools that I think are really cool and kind of show you how easy it is to deploy apps to Macs on using SimpleMDM. So the first thing I wanted to show is this is what the Managed Software Center looks like. This is what we talked about when we mentioned the Monkey integration. Basically, this is a self-service portal where users can install apps on their own. I've already configured a few apps here. You can see that I've already got Chrome installed and Firefox. If I want to trigger a new install, I can just click install next to this app name, and that'll start downloading. In terms of adding apps to this catalog, it's really very straightforward. So we have this catalog here. This is a list of all apps that you currently have in your account. If you want to add apps, there are a few different options. So first is our shared apps catalog. This is kind of similar to the package library on the PDQ products. But basically, these are apps or installers that we're providing to you. All you have to do is go in, click add. So we can just say, we want 1Password, we want abstract. I'll just start with those two for now. So we've added those to our account. And now to assign them, we just go to our assignments page here. I already have created a device group that assigns this app to my device. And so typically the way it would work is as you're enrolling devices, they would join up into these assignment groups and get these apps automatically during that enrollment process. So in this case, I'm just going to run Software Center again, and we'll see those apps download in just a moment. So next up, in terms of deploying a custom package, so let's say there's an app that you want to deploy that's not available within the shared apps catalog, we can actually just go in and upload our own here. So I've got this package. All this is just a script that I have that's wrapped as a package. So let's say I want to assign this to my devices. Again, I would just go into my assignments, assign it to my device. And then once this finishes downloading, we'll see that it's still in progress here. We'll see those apps appear right there in the Managed Software Center. In terms of the package info that I mentioned earlier, so this is a pretty cool feature. So basically, it allows you to customize this XML file that is controlling the behavior of the installations. So just as an example, let's say we wanted to force a restart when the user installs the application. So we will call it restart action. And then the string value will be recommended restart. And so when we save this, basically what will happen is when I go to download the 1Password app, it's going to prompt me to restart my computer. So for 1Password specifically, I don't necessarily need this, but if you're running your own packages or if there are some software such as like antivirus solutions, you may require a restart just in order for things like a license key to be set or some other action to occur. It can be really useful for that. So there's a lot of different custom keys that can be used in this package info. There's documentation available online. If you go into, if you just search for monkey package info keys, you'll find the documentation. So hopefully we'll get this to not be too slow. It's typically very fast. I am on a shaky internet connection right now, so apologies for the delay. And so we see that we've got this package here. I might have uploaded it improperly, so I'm just going to remove that. But basically, so we can see that 1Password is now available. So if I click install, it'll start downloading. Once it finishes downloading, you should see a prompt to reboot. Okay, yeah, and so we see this restart required action. And so I can restart my computer, and that should trigger the installation. So that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and thanks for your time.
Great. Thanks, Eric. Again, a lot of great things we're working on here. I'm sure the question for many of you is, hey, I really love this idea of a self-serve package library. Is that coming to Connect or Deploy Inventory? The answer is we are absolutely planning on doing that for Connect. We'll have to see about Deploy Inventory, but that's a future state we're not too worried about right now. But on the Mac side, you absolutely have it today. All right, that's what we had for you on roadmap. I know that there's many questions. I also know that we're going a little long here, so we're happy to jump into those questions and let's do this.
Yeah, we've got about a dozen or so questions, and so we're just going to speed round these.
Let's do it,
boys. So let's jump in. PDQ Deploy Inventory are updated fairly often. This is pretty smooth. SmartDeploy is much more time-consuming to update, requiring recreating media every time. Is there a way to streamline this? That is from Josh.
Yeah, so I'll take that one. The reason behind the media recreation is just to get any bug fixes into that media that might require those changes. We've looked into in the past a way to automatically recreate those for deployment packages, but when it comes to USB or offline media or something like that, there isn't a way for us to just automatically make those changes for you. Yes, that's the reasoning behind it. Hopefully that helps.
All right. Next question. For the user management, will there be an option to federate with a Microsoft Azure tenant and use MFA? Tim M.
Randall, that's a good question for you there.
We're going to be using Auth0 for user management for the accounts. So I believe they support multi-factor. Yeah. So they do support MFA, and I think I'm not sure about the second part with federate with Microsoft Azure tenant.
Yeah, we've done some testing there. We'll have to double click on that, but absolutely MFA out of the gate.
Yeah, Auth0 definitely supports it. So
Outstanding. Some of these questions may have been answered already in chat, but we'll answer them here as well to give everybody the same answer. Next question: will we be able to fine-tune permissions, or will they be predetermined? For example, workstations, servers, certain software. James D.
Yeah, so for permissions, and I assume this is related to deploy inventory and that roles and permissions that we're working on. It hasn't really been spec'd out yet, so we don't really have a definition on what that's going to look like. So I do want to be talking to our customers about how this would be the most useful for them. So yeah, if you guys have opinions on how this should be done, definitely get in touch. Let's chat.
Cool. Next question: will the upcoming user management and move away from product keys limit deploying inventory use on networks without internet connectivity? Hopefully, offline activation will still be available. Joshua H.
Yep. So we did answer this one in chat, but just so everybody knows, we still are going to support air-gapped customers, so that won't be a problem. Not having internet connectivity. So.
Yeah, and just to be really clear on that, you'll still have a product key in that scenario, right? Because you can't
Yep.
log in. There's not an authentication server to hit to be able to do it. So you'll have a key in that instance.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are knocking out the speed round. I'm impressed.
Now we're trying here.
Impressed. Next question from Steve L. Will Connect have PowerShell scanners for inventory?
I assume the question is more of, are there custom scanners planned for Connect? Answer is yes. A little further in the roadmap, but yes, custom scanners.
And that's the thing to remember. All the features are not going to be available in like the first iteration. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll start with what we think is going to be a highly valuable set of features, but it's not going to be everything in deploy and inventory. But we have a very fast-moving engineering team, so once we're launched, we're going to add in a lot more, hopefully very quickly.
Awesome. Next question from Tim M. Does the agent use a client-specific SID or something along those lines? Curious as far as trying to embed the client in a sysprepped window image.
I'll go ahead and say I'm not qualified to answer this. One of our engineers maybe, though, can reach out.
I think one thing to know is that the installer is specific to your organization. And so if you take that installer and you embed that installer into your image, like it'll automatically add it to the appropriate Connect org and you'd see it.
Cool. Next question. For remote users with company laptops, since they're not domain joined and they only connect through VPN, I don't have a way to push updates. Will a new PDQ product allow me to do this? Eric C.
Yes. So essentially, once the agent's on the device, as long as the device can connect to the internet, regardless of what network that is, you can push any update. So yeah, the answer is yes.
Next question is, why aren't you simply leveraging app settings from deploy?
So if this one is where we add an agent to deploy an inventory, we attempted that. Deploy an inventory were specifically designed to be agentless. We tried to shoehorn it in a few years ago and it did not go well. So I think starting with a new product was from the results of the first attempt.
Yeah, the architecture just simply wasn't there to support an agent. And so I think the decision was made, you know what, if we're going to do this, let's do it right and start from the ground up on it.
Yeah, you pretty much captured it there.
All right, next question. Where does Connect push from? Claudio.
Yeah, so it's going to be pushing from basically our hosting, and I think is kind of the core question there. So for the package library, that's obviously coming from us. And for custom packages, you would be uploading to our storage and then pulling from that as well.
You guys are just killing the speed round. I'm so impressed here. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using an agent versus agentless setup? That's Ricky Q.
I'll give you my take on this. I mean, we could probably talk about this for a long time. It's probably a good topic for a whole webcast. But I think one of the advantages of agentless, right, is there's nothing installed on the computer, and so the configuration is nothing, right? And so that's a huge advantage to being agentless. Whereas with an agent, you are going to have to install something. Now, is installing a file all that hard? No, not really. But it is a little bit more work up front. Right. And so the question about getting it onto an image is a lot more important than it is for an agentless product. The other thing with an agentless product is a lot of from a bandwidth perspective, right? It's all going just over your local network. And so you're not having to download Chrome from the internet and distribute it to lots of different computers. Now, again, we're on the PDQ side, we're going to be hosting those files. So you don't have to worry about that necessarily as much, but there is a bandwidth element as well that comes into play when you have an agent not agentless on the local network.
All right. Couple more questions in the queue here. What are the plans for enhancing the existing deploy and inventory? Marcel.
So I'll take that question. Like I said, we have a dedicated team, engineering team and product team for every one of our products. And so right now we're focused, like we showed earlier, hitting some of those top bugs that have kind of plagued us or been a big frustration for our customers. And then a big focus around that user management to kind of get us to roles, permissions, and additional security updates.
And our final question for PDQ Connect, what is the check-in interval and can it be set to a desired interval? Tim M.
Currently, it checks in every 5 seconds. Right now, it's not configurable. We're hoping that 5 seconds is more than fast enough for normal use cases. Doesn't mean it won't be configurable in the future, but right now, every 5 seconds.
That is impressive. And that is it for the questions. Any final thoughts that you guys want to share?
Yeah, I think, again, just if you do have thoughts around the product, or maybe you saw something that you want more information on, or maybe you didn't see something, right? We didn't cover something that you feel really passionate about. Like I said, please reach out to us on the product team. We want to talk to you. We want your feedback. We want this product to help solve your problems around device management. And so we want to be a good partner to you. So and that's my last thought there is, please come talk to us. We would love to talk to you.
Outstanding. And as we say for Jordan and Tara, camera 2.
All right. Well, we don't officially have a camera 2, but I don't know. This is exciting for me because I haven't seen a lot of Connect myself and seen where the roadmap for deploy. So there's a lot of things where even though I present on this, I don't know where the future is headed. So it's nice for me. I enjoy this. Hopefully we got a lot of information out for people.
I think job well done for you and I in this webcast. Don't you think,
We
Jordan?
crushed
You guys
it.
I mean,
crushed
yeah,
it.
it was
Did great.
really good. Yeah, I'm excited. It looks amazing, actually. I'm really excited to dive in.
For PDQ.com, I'm Jordan.
I'm Tara.
Thank you for being a part of our webcast today. If you had questions that we were not able to get to today, feel free to reach out to our support forums. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week.